Hey, this is Cast with Players Only. I'm looking at Joe Enzler. We had a lesson with him yesterday and just want to talk about what's going on. So, I'm going to jump right to it. The biggest issue, the biggest room for improvement is going to be with our hip and shoulder separation. Okay, so I've done this plenty of times where I'm standing behind you, Joe. So here's me, the imaginary me behind you, or the wall behind you. Okay, so we are getting our hands up too early. So when I stand behind you, we have a little better timing. That's something that you want to start trying to correct. Okay, the angle of your back leg right now is pretty darn good. We got to make sure that we're not just falling forward, that we are driving right here. So this needs to be the big drive. That should be turning your hips, okay, ahead of your shoulders. So right here is when I should see your hips turning. You can see that they're not. Okay, so here's our foot touching the ground. Sorry, we got the window in the back, so it's kind of killing what you can see, but this is going to be touch. We're planting right here. Okay, so your hips and your shoulders are moving together. Okay, you do get out. I mean, this is why the fact that your body is in this position right now, notice your knee is behind your heel. That's a great position to be in. If we can just get your hips turned earlier while keeping your shoulders sideways, I mean, your front leg is stabilizing. This is good. The fact that you get out here, this is where you're releasing the ball. This is why your two-seam has movement. So you're going to continue to have success throwing that pitch because of how you're finishing right here. Okay, and it's a lot of it is the fact that your front leg is stabilizing early enough. So you are stabilizing here. I can see your hand right here. So you are in external rotation right now. You know, this is going to be your internal rotation, or where you're releasing it. Okay, ball's out of your hand right here. So the biggest issue is just that you are not creating hip and shoulder separation. So here are your hips turned. Your shoulders are turned at that same time. So they're moving together. If you can create some torque, meaning your lower half goes before your shoulders go, you're going to throw the ball much more consistently. The ball's going to go where you want it to, and it's going to be hard. So yesterday, I actually didn't even notice that your command was kind of all over the place, and so your dad said something, and then I noticed, yeah, you kind of missed the screen a couple times. But if you are creating more hip and shoulder separation, this is going to be less of an issue for you. Okay? Aside from that, good aggressive stride. You throw the ball well. I wouldn't be too worried about the inconsistencies that you experienced yesterday. I just want to help you try to create more hip and shoulder separation. So, just like when we hit, we have to feel our hips turning before our hands and shoulders turn. So, however, you can replicate that from, because I know you can hit well. I've seen you hit. You got a good swing. So, if you can get that feel of what you do when you hit, and translate that to when you throw, we're going to see some pretty good results. Okay. One last thing, I did notice this as I was watching your video. Right here, I do want your leg to be going down. That's going to make it easier for your back leg to be driving forward. Okay, so the fact that it's not going down right now, and it's just, I'm looking at how your knee is staying bent. Okay, so it's going to stay bent for a pretty long period of time. Huge issue? Not really. You might want to play with what it would feel like if you were going forward as your leg extended down a little bit more. We might be able to create a little bit more power that way. I'm being a little nitpicky there. That's just a style thing. So, anyways, hopefully this was helpful. The name of the game is hip and shoulder separation, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. Cass Carter with Players Only.